And welcome once again to your coronavirus and market commentary. My name is Mark Kunenberti, host of Money Matters Financial Radio on 66 stations nationwide and financial columnist. So let's get right to the coronavirus statistics. 3.5 million cases worldwide, deaths about 248,000. That's about a 6% mortality rate of those that are tested. Remember, we probably haven't tested 9 out of 10 people. So we may be looking at a mortality rate of maybe 1% or less. It's in 212 countries. In the United States, we have about 1.2 million cases at about almost 69,000 deaths. That's about a 5% mortality rate. But again, if we haven't tested 9 out of 10 people, we're probably down in the 1 or half a percent for sure. We're seeing states starting to reopen. There has been no statewide mandate to close in South Dakota, the only state that didn't issue that order. States under lockdown, still under lockdown: California, Oregon, Louisiana, Illinois, Michigan, North Carolina, Virginia, New York, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Washington, D.C., Delaware, and Hawaii. Um, so there's been protests all over the place for us to open up, and there's also other people that are saying that we shouldn't open up. It might be too early. But let's go to the stock markets first before we finish up. The Dow was down hard, about 600 points on Friday, and the futures tonight, Sunday, are down about 322 points. We had some good earnings last week from Microsoft and Amazon, Facebook, Clorox, among others. But the Dow was kind of bouncing around last week. And Friday, once most of those earnings had been posted Friday, we did see a hard down. A lot of companies are getting devastated. Airlines, just, oh my gosh, I can't imagine. They're having 1/10 of the flights that are flying for sure. Airlines, travel-related, hotels, restaurants, retail, transportation, and incredibly, 80,000 cruise ship employees are stuck on 120 ships in U.S. waters. Can you imagine being stuck on that ship for that long? 80,000 Americans and other crew members, 120 ships in U.S. waters. Some stores are reopening along with the states. Some are requiring masks. I went in a Big Five this weekend. They required a mask and only let a few people in at a time. We're seeing reopenings, partial reopenings. The beaches in Southern California were closed, then they were opened, and they were shut down again because of all the crowds there. We're seeing some salons, malls, even some restaurants reopen with some restrictions. So with the Dow hitting an all-time high of 29,500, which was in February, and then dropping to about 18,300 somewhere in March, it has rebounded to about 24,000 and change, and now looks to be softening again. Unemployment continues to spike. We're seeing those numbers really, really high, but we're not quite seeing the increase come as fast as far as the filings are concerned. Maybe it is starting to slow there, but I do forecast there's going to be 25 to 50 million people that are unemployed. No problem for that. Signs that the consumer spending is increasing a bit, and more stimulus is coming to top off the trillions and trillions of dollars that the government has thrown at businesses and individuals and corporations and the banking system. On as far as where the Dow's going to go, I now think that I haven't really changed my opinion on what was going to happen here. V-shaped recovery, which is the Dow down hard and then straight back up again, I don't think was ever in the cards. I first initiated a prognostication that we were going to see the Dow do a retest of the low of 18,300. But then all the stimulus money coming in from the government made me rethink that. I think we are now going into a retest, but probably a 10 or 15% retest from where we are. There is a theory, which is a Fibonacci theory, kind of a complicated economic theory, but it basically says that the retest coming is going to be 50% or 2/3 of the gain that we saw. So the Dow went from 18,000 to 24,500 and some change. So We're looking at 6,500 points total gain there. So a half retest, 50% retest would be a loss of 3,200 points. Two-thirds would be about 4,400 points. So I personally think that we are going to go into a retest. There's just no way that this thing could just go down, market go down and straight up and hit all-time highs when we're just beginning to see these horrendous economic numbers. Remember, first quarter numbers are out. They're very, very bad, worse than expected. And first quarter was only affected by 1 month, March, right? January, February were fine. March was the third month. So we're seeing horrible numbers just in March for 3 months for the first quarter. Second quarter is going to have April and May in it. And then if we do get full back to reopened status in June, still we already know from other countries that have reopened, there's nowhere near they're going to get the patrons that they did. So the second quarter is going to be horrendous. I think the market now is realizing that they saw the market go up and they said, okay, everything is good, everything is copacetic, and now that they're hitting the realization that the numbers are starting to hit and the market will start back down. And that's exactly what I put out in many radio shows and articles, that once the market realized what was happening, we'd see a retest. So we're once again, we lightened up, almost sold all positions March 2nd. We started buying right around third week of March, and now we're starting to sell again for the second round. So there you go. On the virus itself, new evidence out of Washington. So they claim that the Chinese lab in Wuhan is where the coronavirus initiated. It escaped from a lab. Others say that's all poppycock, that it's all Washington spin. Some are warning that it's too early to open up. And finally, many heartfelt demonstrations of gratitude and appreciations continue to take place across the country for first responders and healthcare workers. The Blue Angels made a rare appearance flying with the Thunderbirds. So I actually flew in the back with a Thunderbird pilot in a jet. And so to see them together, I don't know if I've ever done that before, but it was something to see them fly together. So the drama continues to unfold and damage to our economy and our population, and the totals are a long time in coming. We just don't know how bad this is going to get. It will be a long time before we know the total of the shutdown, the damage the shutdown has caused in the virus itself. Okay, you can join the channel if you like for continuing updates on the market, my commentary, and the corona updates, all in a one concise news piece. The channel is Mark Cunaberti. Website is moneymanagementradio.com, where everything is free. Thanks for listening and be safe.